At the joint inside the Hard Rock, I'm Dave Farra, sitting next to Randy, the Natural Couture. What happened to your arm, man?
How you doing, bud? Oh, I checked the kick last Thursday and refractured the ulna that I fractured in the Gonzaga fight. So I got to spend a few more weeks in the cast now.
Is that going to affect your poker at all today?
I hope not. I should still be able to cover my cards.
Cover the cards.
Go all in.
Well, let's talk about Operation All In, because this is a really cool event that you're putting on. How did you decide to put on Operation All In, and what's the big picture behind it?
This is our second foundation fundraiser. We did our first last Memorial weekend when Chuck and Quinton fought. So
yeah.
It was a big weekend here in Vegas, and then we're trying to come up with an idea. We're thinking about a golf tournament, or what can we do for our second event to again raise awareness and funds for these soldiers that are coming back wounded. And a friend of ours, Steve Sear, contacted us about doing something here at the Hard Rock and using poker as a way to do that. And everything kind of fell into place. The Hard Rock got behind it, and marketing all went out. And man, we've got 130 people signed up before we even opened the doors. So I'm pretty excited about it.
And you're also doing a silent auction here today, and you're selling some of your memorabilia, like some gloves that you've actually used in the octagon, and some fight shorts and stuff, right?
I think we've got some fight shorts from the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and I think we've got the gloves that I fought Tim Sylvia with that should go for some good cash for the foundation, and we're really excited about all that stuff.
Have you seen the trophy yet?
Yeah, I did see the trophy.
This thing?
Yeah.
Should we be expecting you to take this home? I mean, it is a picture of you after all.
I might have to fight somebody to get it and take it home.
I imagine you could do that as well, right? Operation All In benefits the troops, and you're known for doing a lot of charity and giving back to the community. But let's talk about your career professionally as well, because there's been some changes recently. What can we expect from Randy Couture in 2008? What's going to be your focus?
Well, I have a contract with the UFC that, by our estimation, expires in July, a fight contract. I also had an employment contract that had a one-year non-compete clause. I resigned on the 11th of October, so next October on the 11th, I should be free and clear of the UFC contractually in any way. And my intention is to pursue the Fedor fight and settle the debate. Who's the #1 heavyweight in the world right now? And I'm not sure how all that's going to play out and how we're going to get that done, but definitely going to find a way to fight Fedor.
Do you think Fedor has been fighting weak opponents? A lot of people have been saying that.
Well, I think he hasn't fought any real top 5 opponents in the last 2 years. But I think that Bodog spent a lot of money on it and tried to take care of him and keep that marketability. M1 now just did this deal on New Year's that he fought Choi, the 7-foot Korean who gave him some serious problems. But anytime you're fighting a guy that big, they pose interesting problems. I can allude to, I fought Tim Sylvia recently. And he created, those guys are big, strong guys that create some interesting problems. He still ended up winning the fight in pretty impressive fashion. So I don't think it diminishes his credibility. I think at some point he's excited to fight top 5 opponents too. He's just not finding that opportunity. He's not really in a situation where he can pick and choose who he wants to fight. It's hard for him to find opponents. So I'm hoping to get clear of these contracts and step up and make that happen.
Are you confident that if today, arm aside, you were to fight him, that you would win?
Yeah, I believe that I can beat him. I think I have the skill set to go out and be hard on him. I think he's tough. He's a great challenge. He's very well-rounded. He's got good stand-up skills. He's very explosive. His demeanor is remarkable when he fights. He's so stoic, and he doesn't even look like he sweats out there half the time.
Right. With all the strife, I don't know if that's the right word, but with the UFC and Dana, has that hurt some of your relationships with some of the fighters that come to your gym? I mean, is there sort of a weird tension, or does that not really exist?
I don't think so. I think the fighters get it. Dana's done some things like pulling Vandelay out of the gym. He wouldn't film him for All Access at our gym. Making guys take off their Extreme Couture shirts if they were going to be on film for the UFC, things like that have created a little bit of tension. But those are silly, petty things. They don't really, in the grand scheme of things, they don't really matter. And I think overall, Dana and I have kind of buried the hatchet, cleared the air, and I don't think he has any ill feelings towards me. He'd like to see me come back, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't have any ill feelings towards him. I believe in what I believe in and the things that happened over the years, and that kind of led up to this whole separation, if you will. It almost sounds like we're talking about a date, but I think overall it's about fighting, and this is the guy I want to fight. It's what makes sense for my career, and I'm going to stay focused on that.
So if Dana White called you today and said, we'll give you the money that you want and you can fight Fedor, in the UFC, would you still say no just because of principle?
No, if he'd make the Fedor fight happen, I would fight him in the UFC under the contract, absolutely. And I laid a co-promotion agreement out there that would allow the UFC to participate and make the Fedor fight happen. Obviously, they'd have to work with M1. That's who he signed with, and they weren't willing to see that through for a lot of reasons, probably. But ultimately, that's all that really matters.
Well, Randy, you have always obviously been a great fighter, but you're also a great citizen, and you like to give back to the community, which we all appreciate. So thank you for joining Raw Vegas TV, and best of luck in the tournament today.
You bet, thanks. I hope some beginner's luck kicks in.